1 to 7, truly may God bless you. Truly may God keep you. And may He grant His favor upon you. This I say to you, it is not you who have chosen, it is God who have chosen you. Always remember that. That in the midst of trials, I want you to know a charge you guys have to keep. And a God to glorify. No, it is not about you anymore. It is about God and His church. Treat His children well. As a father or as a parent, you don't want your children cursing, you will not curse at home. You don't want your children to be gamblers, you will not gamble for them to see. Not so? By example, you ought to lead. Then with the children of God, there may be habits that you may have that may not go down so well with those who might be weak at heart. You ought not to do it in front of them. And if something that you're doing, you always have to hide to do it, something wrong. If you have an uncomfortable feeling in saying something all the time, it's better you don't say it at all. Everybody have their way, but this I say to you. You see the structure here? It was consecrated for a purpose. Always remember that. I always tell people, Baptist people sometimes might have a special place in hell because of what they think. And when they go outside the box to think about things that is not of the faith. Here is a consecrated place for God, where the saints gather, and we say what? We love this place, O Lord, wherein thy honor dwells. That's up. Here becomes consecrated. Then when you enter from the trestle of the door, prepare your mind. You who are and will become the head must prepare your mind. I don't want to know what problems you are at home. Leave it outside. Amen. If the others who are the members have problems, let them come with it. But you ought to be free to think. You ought to be free to watch. Stop studying your problems. That is the biggest complaint we all have. Problems. I have problems. So I can't deal with you. Hear how you deal with somebody when they have problems and you have problems. Utilize your problems as an example that when they come, you can use your problems to counsel those who have the similar problems. Then look at it in this way. God will drag you through the mud for a purpose. Don't worry. God will allow people to desecrate your name. Scripture says, rejoice only when it is false. Then make your time with God. A lot of ministers now, and I always tell people that there are two kinds of Christianity now, you know. You have a secular kind, and you have a spiritual kind. I'm talking on a broad spectrum. The secular kind is those who always have to look nice and be somewhere. And if people don't like how they look, they have a problem. And there are those who only do what they have to do for the purpose of God, regardless of what man says. I want you to know that. And I want you to hold that sacred to your heart. There are times you may not like somebody, but protocol indicates you must respect that person. Amen. You hear me? Bishop Steve may have some friends I don't like. I'm telling you. And I may have some friends he don't like. But if we do clash, I have to show respect to his friends, while he will show respect to my friends. Understand that well. But many of us would like to be a rebel. For years I have been a rebel. Anybody know me? Know well that this young man is a rebel. When things ain't right, I standing up against it and walking out of the situation. Say what I have to say and don't give a hoot what people think. But as time goes on, I realize it is not the way. Because sometimes, as I earlier greater than one word said. Silence, and you got to know that. Sometimes let your conversations truly be yea and nay. Still your mind. How do we still our minds? By holding to the things and the tenets of our faith. You ain't no other person else. First begin you the spiritual Baptist. After the order of Melchizedek, stop me for wrong. Then you'll act as a priest in the faith. If somebody tell you the business, I don't want to know what they tell you. That's your sacred duty. It's not allowed to take care. But within the ecclesiastical council and in the order of the ecclesiastical way, you must keep what they say. No one must know what they say. Sometimes you get a problem with that, you know. I come and tell you my business, and Brother Warrior tell you the same thing. And because both of you feel you will talk, we start to pound you. Because you're fearful. Sometimes you are in for it and you are in for a hard fight. Don't be afraid to know, to say you don't know. Stop it. Getting a color doesn't make you the biggest man out. There is a sacredness to ordination. And many people are defiling the ordination ceremonies now. Many are defiling the ordination ceremonies now. Whether the bishop in right standing, yes or no, if God appoint him, you can't object. And I tell people that. And people is vexed when I say that. Saul was appointed by God, rejected by God, still yet David mourned for Saul. Then who is you to start judging another when you may be in that same path one day or another time? Pray for each other as you ought to earnestly from your heart. There is, and I close in with that, two traditions. There is a sacred tradition or the tradition of the church. I want you all to hear that well as you go out there. And then there is a tradition of man, that man invent things in the church. It don't last long. You know, I ain't like how they treated me. See, I'm going to build my own church by that point. Who give you the rights to build a church by your point? Don't be too big-minded or they come down. You hear me? If they ain't even recognizing you in the church, that is all right. Once God knows who you are, then let go. Then you may step out the box or step out the ark of safety and go and build a church. Who gave the church? When a church is given by God, it is registered by God. Everything we do on earth is a replica of heaven, you know. Oh, you know that? When you get baptism work, those who get it, you have a sign in the spirit. When you get pointing work, you have a sign and you're given a number. I have known children going on the ground on the other side, you're asking, who sent you? Well, Mary Jane, Mother Mary Jane, who is she? Then take your time to learn. It doesn't give you the right to exercise, get into exercising things that are greater than yourself. You hear me? And though you may reach to a certain rank, listen to me, in the ecclesiastical bridge, you may reach a certain rank like a bishop, but you may not have the authority to do exorcism. Don't feel your bishop will take out that job. Amen. Send it to the deacon or to the reverend or to the reverend same priest that who has the authority to do it. Amen. Stay in your corner and bat well. Against all the spins and against all the pace attack, hold your head. And then there is something called the sacred teachings of the church. So I don't want him to play watchman too hard. And the eyes isn't so well, I see him wearing glasses. Oh, you haven't done, sorry. The sacred teachings of the church is not written. There are things that we experience and we do as a body of people. People challenge us. That's why people say we are an occult. We're based on the occultism. We are not an occult state. A people deprived and God called them. Using the name Baptist, spiritual Baptist, we went into it. And what we do, there are those of the early church do practice. You all may not know about it. Because everybody now reading what they see in front of them. Be careful when you read. Yes. I tell you, be careful with what all you read. Because all you start to read and then all you start to say that church is not supposed to be Sunday no more, it's supposed to be Saturday. Yeah. Be careful what you read. Come on. God. You hear me? Because reading has a spirit in it. Yes. That can derail your mind. That is why Peter says by the renewal of your mind. Yes, come on. Be careful what you read. And then there is a sacred teachings of the church. Amen. You hear me? If you don't know, watch it well. People say that we have no order, we have perfect order. We start our service in an order. But I don't know about now if the younger people do it. When you light in your field, you light it in an order. And then you start your service in a certain way, not so? And then, but I don't know how you all do it. We do 2 severine. In my home, we do 2 severine. And then the 2 severine adds up to 8 points. And people may say, well, we don't need to do that. There's a reason why we just do it. Because every Sunday morning, when we cover the 8 points, we cover the resurrection morn, raising the church in its glorious way to serve God. That is a sacred teaching of the church that is not written in a book. All you hold to those teachings. Praise the Lord. You may go and you may see a center pole like that, and you accept it. You may go by somebody else and you ain't see a center pole. Don't question the leader. But it might be there, not for you to see. You hear me? Down in Mount Hope, all kind of thing, and people outside that say, damn it, how much? Until a day I stand up talking to one of the ministers and say, look there. Yeah, I want to see that. I say, look good. And Bishop Steve only watching him down, so watch good. Yeah, I see him there, I say, all right, ask him what is that. How you mean? I say, but every day he had a day. And if all didn't fix it, is he fixing it? Why is it there? I said, do not judge when people are given the house of God. Amen. Then hold to the sacred teachings of this faith. Amen. Hold to it. Live by it. You hear me? Live by it. There are times mothers and leaders may say things that are not right and unkind. It may hurt your feelings. You want to know somebody who knows about that? You really want to see it? Somebody who stands in a church full of ministers all out, and for no reason the leader just, the only thing the leader tell him is he. You hear what I'm telling you? And all he had to do was stand up and watch. And many times he wished to go. And people who brought him there would tell him, you ain't leaving there, stay right there. So all there ain't no pressure yet. Praise the Lord. God sometimes allows the mouths of the elders to fall on you in a hard way. And sometimes I love both of you because I just see natural way. You ever do something patriarch and your spirit so right where you want it in perfection? Don't do it so! Oh God, oh God, again, I said I don't want it so, all you know how to do it. And when you can't take it over what you do, you do it for yourself. And when you finish, you say, come, hey, just book me up. Why? In the midst of doing what you have to do. In the midst of what you have to do. If you want to learn, learning is not he come in and teach you. Learning is every day coming in the church. Amen. If you can't learn, so you ain't ready to learn yet. You hear me? A nurse does become a good nurse when a nurse is not a nurse and not a nurse, but standing in the only room observing. Amen. And then she becomes a good nurse. And if she takes her nursing good, she receives the gift of sight. That's all? And according to her degree, she may move from a nurse to a matron. And from a matron, she may become a pointer. Nobody can touch that pointer because it starts from the ground level. Praise the Lord. So may God truly bless you all as ministers. Oh yes. I say stop taking talk from other people. Hallelujah. Take talk from your people. Psych out what is right and what is wrong. Oh, yeah. You hear me? Please, psych out what is right and what is wrong, and truly may God bless you. Praise the Lord. Truly may He cause His face to shine upon you. May whatever you ask for in his name, I pray to God, it truly be granted to you. Love God, I beg of you, and hold to the sacred teachings of the faith. You hear me? And I close with this. Don't let nobody tell you that in our faith only had leader, mother thing, and ecclesiastical council came in because when they wanted to know. We had that before we went to the government. Stop me if I'm wrong, Victoria. We had it before we went to the government seeking to have recognition. And many of our spiritual priests are different from our carnal priests. Because when God ordained you a priest in this faith, he is really a priest. Yes. And from there, you will move from one stage to the other. So God has blessed you all to become his children. You are now to bear his sacred cross. You are now to bear the abuse of those in the church. You are now to bear the burdens of people talking down on you because you're now ordained. Bishop Bowen, yes, Bishop Stephen, just go and give a little lecture for them children there for me, down Mount Bowen, down. Alright, I'll go when I reach, only come 5. But up more, they don't know I have time or what. But I was sent by Bishop Stephen, let's sit there with, listen. You know why I get on, sir? I is the bishop and he sent me. But who is me? Who is me? I am just like you, a priest in an office of the bishop, and I must be more humbler than you. Then you make yourself more humbler than the most vilest man in the church. In humility, you will grow. God bless you. God bless you. And I feel like going on. And I feel like going